What up, people? Right now, I'm going to show you the basic tools that you can start at your kitchen table doing leather work. And this is what I started with. And you don't have to go buy those real expensive kits. Um, you know, they're nice because they come with a lot of stuff, but you won't use half the stuff in there. So I'm going to show you what I use a lot, and it's just basic tools. First thing is a metal ruler. Now, this metal ruler, you know, some people like the cork backing on it, but I don't have that one. I had this already, and I use it like daily. I use it on every project. You use it to cut straight edges. You use it to measure. So this is a very important piece, and it's real cheap. Like you can get these for $4 or $5 at the hobby shop. So that's one thing. Okay, second thing, cutting. Here's what I use all the time. It's just a regular utility knife. You can switch the blades out real easy. The blades are cheap. You can buy a whole pack of blades for $5-6. You get 20 or 30 blades, so you're always sharp. It's very important to have a sharp knife because once it gets dull, that's when you get hurt. Like it'll start stuttering and you're pulling, and so always keep a sharp knife. So I use this all the time. Here's another one I use. I keep them. They're all over the place. So these are very important and very cheap. Like this one comes from Home Depot, I think. And you can pick these up. You probably have them around the house already. But if here's a actual knife that leather people use a lot. This one here is pretty neat. You loosen these screws, and this metal piece is the blade, and it slides down. So you slide it down, and then when it gets dull, you sharpen it on a sharpening stone or a piece of leather with jeweler's rouge, they call it, and you just sharpen your knife. But these are expensive. This is like $50-$60, I think. And I thought I needed this because I've seen all the other leather guys using it. So I bought it, and I hardly ever use it. It's a little awkward. Everybody's hand's different. So, you might be able to cut with it good, but in my hands, it just didn't feel comfortable. So I barely use it. Okay, let's see what else we got. Awl. So I use this a lot. So when you want to mark your leather, you can take this and just do a real light on the leather, and you can mark where you need to cut. Works. It's a multi-tool, really. If you need to poke a hole through the leather for stitching, you use the awl. So this works out good. And they're I don't know what they cost. They're not expensive, but that's something that you'd use a lot. Okay, so we got a slicker. So they call this a slicker, edge slicker. So you use this to finish the edge of your leather. Here, I'll show you. So here on a holster. So once you get that all smooth, then you can use water, or you can use they call it talcum. This stuff here. You can use this, and it's for slicking. So you take a little dab of that, put it on there, and you just rub it. Rub it like that, and it smooths out your edge. What it's doing is laying down the fibers. So you're pushing down the fibers and making them stiff. And that's how you get the smooth edge. And just that there will make your product look 100% better. So slicker. It's just a piece of wood. Some people use a spoon. You can use all different kind of things. Whatever you can just use to slick. But these are, really handy. Okay, what else we got? So this is a edge beveler. So what you do with this is, if you have a piece of leather, let me get a piece. So if you have a piece of leather, then you would run this down the edge. Run this down the edge all the way down. And what it does is it makes the edge, it takes off the square part of the leather. So then once you do that, then you slick it, and it gives it like a round edge. Makes it real nice. So these, you know, these are probably $10, I guess. And what's next? A divider. So you use this if you need to make a circle, as you know, if you had to make a circle, or if you want to run down the edge of your leather to mark the center of this. So you find your center, and then you put your wing divider, and you run down the edge, and it will mark. You can mark all the way down the edge. Now you know where your center is. So these are really handy. Okay, so next up, hole punch. So these are hole punches, and they have detachable ends. They screw in. So you can switch out the size hole you need to punch. And so this one is for bigger ones. These are smaller ones. And here's the little bits. So you get the bits with these. These you can buy these in a pack. They're not real expensive. I mean, I'm not sure what they are. I'm gonna create a starters list of tools, and I'll put them all down in the links, so you can see what they cost and stuff like that. So these are pricking irons. So I got the 4, 2, and 1. So this will do 4 holes at once. This will do 2, and then when you get around to a corner or something, you might need just 1. And use these to punch your holes for your stitching. Let's see. So you would punch those holes all the way around your piece, and then go in with your thread. And we need needles. Hold on a second. Where are the needles at? Needles and thread. Here's the thread I use to hand stitch. So this is thread that's waxed. So they put wax on it, and when it goes through your leather, it goes through real easy because of the wax. That's what helps it make it easier to sew. Really nice stuff. It gives you a nice stitch. Okay, you need some kind of hammer. Now, this is I don't know what this is called, poly, or you can use a rubber mallet, but you do not want to use a metal hammer on your tools because it will mess up your heads. It will mess them up. So don't use a mallet or a hammer like this, or something with a plastic head. But really, that's all you need to start. You don't have to get an expensive knife. You don't have to get expensive anything. This is what I started out with on the kitchen table, making holsters. The first thing I ever made was a holster. And I hand stitched it. And I bought the leather from Hobby Lobby, and I actually bought a pack of scrap leather, and I had enough pieces in there to make the size of the wallet, or the size of the holster. So that was the first thing I made. So these are the tools that I use a lot, and they're not real expensive. I do have other tools. I do have an industrial sewing machine. I have 2 actually. As you get into it, and if you really like it, and you want to go further and really create some really cool stuff, then you move up. You buy more tools. You buy better tools. Like this here, this is one of the real cheap ones, and I still use it a lot. I would like to upgrade, but this one's working fine. So I just can't justify spending like the good ones like this. Might cost you $60 to $100, and I might have paid $20, $25 for this, if that. I think it might have came in a kit with different sizes. This is number 2. What's nice is you can sharpen these too. They have a little tool that you can sharpen them with sandpaper. So I don't see why I need to buy a new one until this one don't work anymore. And if you have any questions that are not in there, let me know in the chat so I can add them to it. All right, have a good day.